How's it going, guys? Here I have is the RIDGID 18-volt butane heat gun. Model number is Romeo 860434 Bravo. And I actually got this the other day and I've already opened it up. So this is actually an empty box. Here's the very tool itself. But first of all, I want to say thanks and give a shout out to Anthony Perez from our Facebook group, Team Rigid Power Tools. He shared a link and also for spreading the word about this tool going on sale on woot.com. It's basically a clearance website for Amazon, I guess. They're also associated or affiliated with Amazon, so they're actually legit and official. uh, but other than that, thanks again. He shared the link and it was like $39.99 or $40. So luckily for me, uh, I saw the post and went up and straight up bought this thing from that site. So as I've been using this for a couple days now, and I want to start off with the pros. So the pros is the trigger system here. So once this thing is actually powered up, give me a sec. So once you have the battery in there, press and hold the trigger to turn it on. It will make some clicking noise that's actually ignites the butane fuel. And when you turn it off, it also has a cooling feature, a cooling mode. uh, it'll basically have the internal fan. Before fully shutting off, it will blow out some cool air, or basically with no heat, so it will help cool out this nozzle, makes it faster, uh, for you to store it faster basically with a cool nozzle, so you don't have to lay it around on the ground. Unlike other heat guns, they don't really have that feature. Correct me if I'm wrong, but now you just have to wait, and with those other heat guns you have to wait and for their nozzles to cool down before storing or laying it down. Another pro is basically in this instructions on here. So this is not really a simple tool to use, uh, but good thing it has instructions right in front of the trigger and handle over here. It has pictures and it's written in English telling you how to basically start up the gun. uh, on this tag here, actually I still have it on there for now, is also instructions but in two different languages. I can't really say what languages though, because I don't understand them. uh, I do also like they still have the hex grip handle on here. I really love it. It's comfortable, really. And then the next one is the kickstand. On the box it says it's for versatility, and I agree, but that's also for depending on what size battery you have, it will adjust accordingly, and this will help it stand by itself when you're trying to work with your project or a material while you're heating it up without having to hold on to it. So this kind of makes this tool independent of you using your two or one of your hands. Unlike the other heat guns, you have to press and hold down the trigger to keep heat blowing through. Unlike with this one, it's just one start and then continuously blows. Well, that sounds wrong, but yeah. Other than that, here, let me show you. So that's with the 3 amp hour battery, and here's the big boy, 9 amp hour. So for a second there, it actually does stand by itself, but I guess with a little nudge, it will tilt over. So but yeah, with the kickstand, that can actually help support it. What's next? So just like other heat guns, this thing has a standard nozzle actually, so which is a good thing. You can actually attach some, or basically attach different attachments or accessories for the heat gun. Sadly and unfortunately, Rigid does not make their own attachments for the nozzle. You'll have to rely on third-party brands and whatnot, or other brands basically. And Home Depot online doesn't sell just the attachments by themselves. They have to be bought as a kit or with the heat gun of different brands. In Amazon though, you can find some individual ones or separate ones from a kit or without the heat gun basically. So yeah, there's that at least. And then what's next? What's next? So the cons. Sometimes this thing has a failed start or like a false start. Uh, that can be easily fixed is if what I did was I actually had it just earlier for the first time, and then what I heard is in order for you to fix that, you'll need your butane and basically fill it up again. Once I did that, it started working. At first, I tried removing the battery and then installing the battery again. That didn't work. But after refueling it again with the butane, it worked. So I guess the the bad part about that is it doesn't really hold the butane fuel in there. But I think it does. It's just needs a little sort of compression of the fuel. But other than that, that's it. Well, actually, not with the cons though. There's another thing too. Is speaking of fuel, what I hate is that it has no sort of fuel gauge whatsoever. I was really hoping for like maybe like a little transparent or clear part, but I guess I can't really ask for that. I don't even know how to design this, but that aside, I wish there was a sort of way to tell how much fuel or you have in the gun. That way you can just plan accordingly. But hey, it's just wishful thinking there. What's next? So another thing is what I hate personally. So I guess this is just a me problem. The trigger right here, in my hand when I first grab onto the gun. I guess it's just my hands. They're just big, but just big enough for me when I pull on the trigger. There is a gap between the trigger and the handle there, just big enough for my skin just to get pinched in between when I press the trigger. So that's just really a personal con right there. Another thing is with the trigger, I hate that it's big and bulky. Likewise with the whole tool itself, it's actually big and bulky. I mean, I understand this part, but yeah, it's just bulky. But it's not heavy though. It almost feels top heavy, but I can live with that. What else? Bulky trigger, no fuel gauge, and I guess lastly but not least, the kickstand. So I noticed here when I started moving it, there's like kind of like a wear and tear or damage to the plastic. I mean, a little understandable, but it almost makes me worry on how long this kickstand will last. Because what if I have it standing like this and eventually this part wears out, and then now it's gonna just be loose and it's gonna just like tilt on itself. Maybe, just maybe. But yeah, other than that, I think those are my only cons with this one. But overall, I still like it. I'll probably use it. I don't know if I'll buy another heat gun though. I hope